Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports with another football video, and today this is the 10th episode and final episode of my 2021 NFL 100 list. I've been doing this series for 10 weeks now, and this is the very last one. So if you've been following the series the whole time, make sure to let me know in the comments down below which players you think didn't deserve to be in the top 10, which players you think did deserve to be in the top 10. And which players you don't think were on the list that you wish were. Make sure to check out the other 9 videos in the series if you haven't already, or at least a couple of them if you want to see like top 50 or top 30 or whatever. This video I think was the hardest and easiest one to make at the same time. It was the easiest one to make because it was the easiest one to decide which players I was going to include, but it was the hardest one because it was so hard to decide what order I was going to put them all in. So, with that being said, let's get right into the video. So, starting off this week's list, at number 10 we have Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is a fantastic wide receiver for the Chiefs. This season he had 87 catches for almost 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns. He was number 8 in the league for receiving yards and number 2 for receiving touchdowns. He is a 5-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time All-Pro selection in his 5 NFL seasons. He's a 4-time NFL 100 team player at number 35, number 40, number 19, and number 22. And I think that will go up this year. And in the playoffs, he had 24 catches for 355 yards in just 3 games. He had 34 touchdowns in his past 43 games, which is insane. He's averaging over 12 touchdowns a season for the past 3 seasons if he were to have played the full seasons, because last year he only played like 12 games. And I think that he's arguably the best receiver in the NFL. There's one receiver I have above him on this list, but there's a strong argument to be made that Tyreek Hill, the fastest player in the NFL, is also the strongest and most versatile wide receiver at the position as well. At number 9 we have Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, at the beginning of the season, I was all for Russell Wilson. I thought he was going to be the guy. I thought he was going to be the MVP. And that was before the season started. By week 4, I thought that he was guaranteed the MVP. Turns out the MVP is not decided in the first 5 weeks of the season, and he kind of shut down a little bit, but I still think he's a fantastic player. This season, he was 384 out of 558 for 4,200 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions for a quarterback rating of 105.1. He was number 9 in yards, number 2 in touchdowns, tied with Tom Brady, and number 7 in quarterback rating. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler, an 8-time NFL 100 team selection, and has never... last season was his first time in the top 10. I think that he's moved down in the rankings just a little bit, but not because he's regressed, but because everyone else improved. He was my guy in 2020, and he probably still will be in 2021. I really want to see Russell get his first MVP selection. Number 8, we have Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce this season had 105 catches for over 1,400 yards and 11 touchdowns. He was number 5 in receptions, number 2 in yards, and number 5 in touchdowns in the league as a tight end. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time All-Pro, and a 5-time NFL 100 team selection at number 91, 26, 24, 21, 18, and now 8 for me. I'm interested to see where the NFL puts him. He had 31 catches and 360 yards in the playoffs. That's more catches and 5 more yards than Tyreek Hill's 355 yards. And he had 3 touchdowns in the 2021 playoffs. He's undisputed the best tight end going into 2021. Travis Kelce's been a beast for the past 5 years. And I think he's going to continue to be on this rampage of his for a good couple of years to come. At number 7, we have TJ Watt. TJ Watt this season is a fantastic player. He's a linebacker for the Steelers, and this year he had 1 interception, 7 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles, 15 sacks, 23 tackles for a loss, and was number 1 in the league in both sacks and tackles for a loss. He's a 3-time Pro Bowl selection, a 2-time All-Pro selection, and a 2-time NFL 100 selection at number 95, 93, and 25. 2019, he was 93. 2020, he was 25. Now he's, in my opinion, number 7. Last year, he had 40. In the past 47 games, he's had 42 and a half sacks. That's almost a sack a game, and he's a strong contender for Defensive Player of the Year this season in just his 4th year. After leading the league in both sacks and tackles for a loss, many people thought that he deserved it. Aaron Donald got it above him, and I think either one of them well deserved the award. Coming at number 6, we have Patrick Mahomes, arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is the second one I have on this list. The first one I had was Russell Wilson at number 9. Now Patrick Mahomes is at number 6. This season, he completed 390 of 588 passes for 4,740 yards and 38 touchdowns. He only had 6 interceptions in those games and a quarterback rating of 108.2. He was number 1 in yards per game, number 2 in yards, number 3 in quarterback rating, and number 4 in the league in touchdowns. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, a 1-time All-Pro selection, a 2-time NFL 100 team selection, both times at number 4. And he's never failed to reach the AFC Championship in his first 3 starting seasons. I think his first year he should have been number 1 on the NFL 100 list. But someone saw fit that 4 was a better selection, so I'm not going to argue with it. This year I think a lot of people are going to be upset with me that I have him at number 6. But I think that it's a fair spot for him. He had a phenomenal season. He led the league in yards per game. He could have led the league. He could have been second in touchdowns, depending on how that last game of the season went. But since we don't really know, you got to judge in regular and post. And the Super Bowl was a rough outing for him. That Tampa Bay defense is strong, but Patrick Mahomes is one of the strongest, if not the strongest quarterback in the league, and well deserves a spot in the top 10. At number 5, we have Davante Adams, a wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers and the number 1 receiver on this list. This season, he had 115 catches for almost 1,400 yards and 18 touchdowns, and he only played 14 games. He was number 1 in touchdowns and number 5 in yards this season, but he was number 1 in yards per game with almost 99 because he played 14 games. He's the 5th player of all time also to have 20 receiving touchdowns between regular and post. So the other players on that list include Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Rob Gronkowski, Mark Clayton, and now Davante Adams. All of those players have something in common. They have Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, and now Aaron Rodgers has been added to the list of quarterbacks who have had 20 touchdown receivers. He's a 4-time Pro Bowl selection, a 1-time All-Pro selection, and a 3-time NFL 100 team selection at number 45, 35, and 57. I think he well deserved to be higher than 57 and 35 the last couple of years. And I think this year on the list, he will definitely be top 10 and get his due. When he was targeted this season by Aaron Rodgers, Aaron had a pass rating of 136. And coming at number 4, we have Tom Brady. I know everyone in the comments is going to tell me to switch Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, and that I'm a biased sports fan. But I think that Tom Brady deserves to be in the top 5 more than Patrick Mahomes because of his postseason performance. Because he played 4, he won 4. Tom Brady was 401 out of 610 in the regular season for over 4,600 yards and 40 touchdowns, as well as 12 interceptions and a quarterback rating of 102.2. In the playoffs, he played 4 games. He had over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns and a quarterback rating of 98.1, as well as 14 Pro Bowl selections in his career, 3 All-Pros, and 10 NFL 100 team selections with an average rank of 3.8 and a 2020 rank of number 14. He missed the Pro Bowl this season, and it's the second time ever a quarterback has missed the Pro Bowl with 40 touchdowns. The only other time it happened was Matthew Stafford on the Detroit Lions. Tom Brady is not the best quarterback in the league at this point of his career, but he is the greatest of all time. And he's continuing to play well into his mid-40s now. and I think that he deserves a lot of respect for that. And it's sad to see him on a different team, but I think he's definitely top 5 player in the league. I wouldn't put him anywhere near the top 3 for their performances this season. But I think he's definitely deserving of a top 5 spot. And if you guys think that Patrick Mahomes deserves to be 4 and Brady deserves to be 6, then let me know. But I think it's kind of semantics. They're both fantastic players, and they both had fantastic seasons. The next player on this list is Aaron Donald at number 3, and much like Tom Brady, is potentially going to go down as one of, if not the greatest of all time of his position. In his career, he's played defensive tackle as well as defensive end, and he's dominated both. He's played in 7 seasons in this league. He's had 7 Pro Bowls and 6 All-Pros. He has this season he had 1 pass defended, 4 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, 13.5 sacks, 45 tackles, and 14 tackles for a loss, putting himself number 2 in sacks, number 3 in forced fumbles, and number 6 in tackles for a loss. He was the Defensive Player of the Year 4 times, including this year. He's a 6-time NFL 100 team selection at number 92, number 14, number 15, number 7, number 1, and number 3. And he's one of the best and most consistent ever to play the game of football. This is his 7th year in a row that he will be on the 100 team, and his 4th year in a row being in the top 10. His first year he didn't make the All-Pro team. He was number 92. That quickly changed, and he's been in the top 20, top 10 ever since. Aaron Donald is a dominant player in the NFL. He's the scariest player in the NFL. You don't want to mess with him, and he deserves the number 3 spot. At number 2, we have my favorite player in the entire league, possibly ever in the league outside of Patriots players, is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry this season had 378 carries for over 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns. He was number 1 in all 3 rushing categories for the 2nd year in a row, and he's number 5 in single season yards leaderboard. For like single season rushing yards, there are 5 players with over 2,000. There are 7 players with over 2,000 yards. Derrick Henry's above a couple of them at number 5. He's a 2-time NFL 100 team selection at number 99 and number 10. Much like Aaron Donald, you see that jump from the 90s to the teens pretty quickly. And he joins Bo Jackson and Lamar Miller on the list of players that have had 2 rushes of over 90 yards. He's played 5 seasons in the league, and he's already had 2 rushes of over 90 yards. It's only happened twice before. He'll probably make 3. Derrick Henry is a 6'4" power running back that likes to truck people and stiff arm them into the stands, and he does a fantastic job of it. I've had him since the beginning of the season as my number 1 guy for the rushing title. There's a lot of people that were saying it was going to be Nick Chubb or Dalvin Cook or whoever else. I knew it was going to be Derrick Henry no matter what, and he definitely pulled through. And of course, number 1 is Aaron Rodgers. If you get the MVP, you deserve to be number 1 on this list. I was shocked Patrick Mahomes didn't get it a couple of years ago, but Aaron definitely deserved it this year. He was 372 of 526 for 4,300 yards and 48 touchdowns with just 5 interceptions and a quarterback rating of 121.5. He was number 1 in touchdowns, number 1 in pass rating, number 1 in completion percentage, number 7 in yards. He's a 9-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time MVP, a 10-time NFL 100 team selection, average rank of 7.7. In 2020, his rank was number 16. I would have listed out his and Brady's, all of their rankings, but that would have taken too much space on the list, so I just put their average rank because they both had 10. And he's the new host of Jeopardy, so make sure to watch Jeopardy with Aaron Rodgers. He's a phenomenal quarterback, a phenomenal player, phenomenal guy, and it's well deserved that he gets the number 1 spot on this list in 2021, I mean. And he's going to come back next year and be even stronger, unless he's hosting Jeopardy instead. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure to check out the other videos in the series. It's been going on for a while, and spent a lot of time on it, so hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below who you think should be higher or lower on this list and who you think is missing from this top 10. Are there any players that were in my top 20 or top 30 videos that you think could have been bumped up to the top 10? And if so, who were they? So, thank you for watching. Hope you guys will see us all in the next one. Peace.